Welcome to the Moment to Pause, where we explore the small shifts that create big realignments. Today, we're diving into something we all do constantly, but rarely give the attention it deserves: breathing.
We're starting today with a quote that really sets the tone. Breath is the bridge which connects life to consciousness, which unites your body to your thought. This quote was given by Thich Nhat Hanh. Jana, when you hear this, what comes up for you?
I think that the most important part, and also the reason why we wanted to share this episode early on in our podcast journey, is the fact that the breath connects it all. And it can be a wonderful tool that is always available to us. And as this quote suggests, it holds extreme power, and it is time to learn using it in our favor.
For me, it's a powerful reminder that breath is like our anchor. It's a thread of weaving together in our physical experience as well as our mental space. So often we get caught up in our minds and forget the simplest thing, which is really breathing. And that can bring us back into presence and clarity and truly ourselves. Think about it like a reset button, always within reach, no matter how chaotic life gets. I love this quote because it invites us to slow down and see breath more than just like a biological function. It's a tool for connection, for grounding, and for realignment. That's exactly what we want to explore today. For tuning into our breath can shift our mindset, our energy, and at the end of the day, our lives. Jana, it's wild how something so automatic like the breath can hold so much power. Have you noticed how breathing changes when you're stressed out or if you feel rushed?
On one of the first job interviews I had when I was still finishing my university, I remember I got asked how I dealt with stress. And I know my answer was that I take a long breath and drink water. So I noticed the power of breath early on, but I never paid it more attention until much later in life, when I was reading various personal development books and even tried to find ways to improve the quality of my life. That's when meditation practices came up. And Karolina, do you have a recent experience you'd like to share?
Oh, yes, there are so many, but I do recall one, and it was during a town hall presentation. I remember my heart was racing, my hands were shaking. It felt like I was freezing in that moment. Then I remembered a tip by Susan Cain. I believe I went through one of her programs that talked about public speaking, that it said slowing down your breath can actually calm your nerves and help you reclaim presence. So at that moment, I was like, okay, take a breath. So I took a deep breath and made it intentional, just giving myself a space to pause and slow down and ground myself in that moment. Don't worry, the nerves didn't go away or vanish mysteriously, but that breath helped me create that space that I needed to connect with the room. And it taught me that, breathing isn't just about staying alive. Well, you need it to stay alive, but it's more like a tool to show up fully, especially whenever you're in a tough situation or there's pressure that's on, or it could be any day-to-day activity. So breath work ultimately is my secret weapon for any type of high performance moments, wherever you have to show up, be there, be present, be in the moment. It's a very simple tool that we often overlook. Yeah, and I know in your course, you talk about breath work. What would you say is your favorite technique?
There are several, but I would like to start with one simple tip that helps you calm your nervous system. As you mentioned, when we are stressed, the breath is often quick and shallow, and it is also a sign that the sympathetic nervous system is active. It is the one that's connected with the stress response, the one when we are deciding to fight or flight. So we are on high alert. Unfortunately, we spend the majority of our days in this response, even when there are no real threats to our lives at present. So my favorite number one tool that's always available is conscious breathing. slow your breath. And as a first stage, remember only this one simple rule. Focus on slow breathing and focus on a longer exhale. This is important because it activates the parasympathetic nervous system. Yes, that is the one where your body can finally rest and digest. And it is so sad to know that we've trained ourselves to spend most of the time in the stressed sympathetic mode. Always running, always pushing hard, always anxious about what's next. So take this chance and you can start training it right now while you listen to this episode. Because you already have and you already know everything that you need to right now. So we invite you right now at the beginning of this podcast, focus on your breath. Consciously slow it for these few minutes and make sure that your exhale is longer than your inhale. Nothing more, nothing less. There are other techniques, for example, box breathing, the 557 breath, or the physiological sigh.
Thanks, Jana. Can you please walk us through one of these techniques and explain why they're so effective?
For example, the 557 breath is that you breathe in for the count of 5, hold for the count of 5, exhale for the count of 7, and it doesn't need to be in seconds. Find a rhythm that works for you and focus on slow, long exhale and releasing the tension. We often hold so much tension in our jaws or our shoulders. Repeat this breathing pattern 3 to 5 times and notice the changes that you feel.
Thanks so much. So we just covered the 5-5-2. The one that I'll go through, it is called box breathing. And I actually have a little box figure breathing on my keypad. And it just serves as a great reminder. So it's right here. I'm not going to pull up my laptop and show you, but it's just more as a reminder of how I can breathe. It's more a secret weapon for back-to-back meetings. So I'll take you through a quick box breathing exercise. So through this breathing technique, you inhale slowly through your nose for the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. While you're inhaling, then the next step is hold your breath for a count of 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you exhale slowly through your mouth for the count of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you hold your breath again for the count of 4. And you can repeat this cycle as many rounds as desired. It's just more about getting you into the present moment. So just think 4, 4, 4, 4. What's one breath practice that you recommend listeners to try apart from the ones that we already covered?
One magic tool that I mentioned is the physiological sigh. Okay, it might not be magic, but for me it sometimes works like one. But it is definitely one to try and experiment with. So take a deep, full breath in, then add another sip at the top, and full, long exhale through the mouth. So repeat a few times, you'll yawn, and it will help you fall asleep quicker. You can follow this practice with a body scan to release tension from head to toes, one body part at a time. This is a great practice to fall asleep to, and it again helps to activate the parasympathetic system a little quicker, so it helps to get you into the rest mode.
I remember in school that they talked about yawning is so disrespectful. Honestly, it's your allowing your brain to breathe. So I would have to disagree with that, but I understand where they're coming from. Throughout the day, I weave in like little breath breaks. Sometimes we get so into the day, we're so busy that we don't take the time to breathe properly. So stay in the moment. I just take 3 deep breaths, no matter if I'm in a meeting, even if it's on camera, or I just take slow breaths in between tasks, even if it's just one, to reset my nervous system and to keep my energy steady. So this simple habit helped transform the overwhelm, especially if I'm jumping from one task or one meeting to the next. And it just makes a big difference between reacting and responding to the day versus taking that grounding moment. breath work, if you think about it, is more a foundation that keeps me and my life aligned, especially whenever the pressure is high. Yana, how do you nourish your body in a way that supports your energy and well being every single day?
Most people think of food or rest first when they hear the word nourishment. But breath is what the body needs every minute. And that's why the conscious breathing is your number one tool. It needs to be breathing. And the power that breath holds can be the magic that you've been waiting for. Checking in with your body, pausing and asking what is most needed in the moment, focusing on breath and releasing the tension that builds up. This is not about starting a perfect meditation habit. This is about creating the space to look inside, to calm ourselves, and to bring a little mindfulness to the everyday moments.
Ooh, I'm so glad that you brought up the meditation topic. So sometimes, from what I read or what's available on the internet, is meditation often gets lumped into breath work. But you just mentioned that it's not really for everyone, especially high achievers who might be skeptical. How do you recommend people approach meditation if they want to experiment without pressure?
So, there are thousands more techniques, and we could talk more about meditation. But we might not be the best experts on meditation, and we know how many high achievers still don't believe in it. Many studies were done, and the benefits of meditations are clear. But we are not forcing you now to start. So, if these few techniques bring results, there is always time for experimentation. To create more space for meditation practices, and again, start with a few minutes and know that it is absolutely normal and okay when thoughts appear running through your mind. The goal is not to get rid of them. The goal is to learn to not judge the thoughts, and most importantly, to not judge yourself for having the thoughts.
If you want to explore breathwork beyond what we talked about today, Wim Hof is like a pioneer in this space. It's more the next level. His method combines breath, cold exposure. He's also known as the Iceman, and a lot about mindset. And he actually has a new book coming out soon that's packed with like practical tools and science-backed insight. It's a next great step for those that are curious about how breath can transform your energy and resilience. And if you're looking for more gentler exercises, we highly recommend checking out James Nestor's Breath. It also is packed with science and stories.
And one quick note: train these tools now. Get familiar with them when you feel okay, when you have a little time. This way, you will also remember them in the time of need, and you can count on them being in your toolkit, ready to be used. And just a quick reminder, don't have huge expectations at the beginning. Simply take it one breath at a time. And here's one question for you to reflect on. What's one small breath or pause you can commit to today that will help you show up more fully for yourself and those that you care about?
Thank you for taking this moment to pause with us. Keep breathing, keep showing up, and we'll see you next time for small shifts that create big realignment.